Hi folks, it's me again, GTV, Team Gavin. Today's talk, we're going to be talking about crime. Now there's a lot of it in the news recently with pretty much from gun shootings to alligator attacks, and pretty much I think it's really quite awful. It makes you kind of sick in the stomach every time you kind of want to turn on the TV. I've got an image in my head. It's the music video for Land of Confusion by Disturbed. It's getting more and more real in the head. You know, it's going to get killings, and it's just the people in charge are losing the power by the hour, and it's really quite disturbing. Pretty much I think the criminal system in this country is on its arse. I think how I see it right now is if someone is bad, they get put into a room and they're there for 8 to 5 years, or even more than that. Depends on what you did as a crime. Pretty much, it's just like your mom telling you to go to your room. You know, it's that kind of situation. The probably worst, baddest thing I've ever done was probably on a school trip I had in Edinburgh. Well, it wasn't in Edinburgh, but we went to Edinburgh from Macduff School. And it was fine, you know, it was all good. And then we went to the hotel room, and one of my old friends found a joining machine. By the way, I'm not saying names in this video. You know, this is my story as I'm telling it the way I did it. And so I found a condom machine, and you know, we were young lads, we were all put in a room together. We thought, right, there's no activities we had to do today. We were bored out of our nut. We're a bunch of lads stuck in a hotel room. Crap, we got a fucking condom machine. I had an extra couple of quid on me. Thanks to my stepdad who gave me it. Yeah, that kind of logic. And so we bought the condoms, and we didn't do anything. We just did a bunch of crazy stuff with it, like filled it up with water and stuff like that, and then we blew them up and threw them out the windows, and you know, it was harmless fun. You know, as backwards I think about it, and pretty much the teacher found out. She gave us a bollocking. Honest to God, me and this other guy, we both got bollockings on the teacher, but I was standing there getting bollocked from this teacher thinking, can this old woman please shut up? Because technically all we were doing is having a bit of fun. We never did any physical damage. There was no vases broken, there was no, you know, we didn't throw a TV out of the fucking room. One of my mates did actually throw a pack of Twixes out of the room, and it landed on the teacher's balcony. That was number one. He didn't get bollocked for that, by the way. And so we got bollocked for the condoms, and we went back home, and I thought, well, I'm not going to get bollocked. My mum's not going to find out about this. It's all going to be good. Next morning, came down the stairs for breakfast. My mum was standing there, didn't realise she was actually part of the PTA meeting. So she went to the meeting and she was like, Gavin, who were them two boys that blew up Johnny's and threw them out the window on this Edinburgh trip? Now, my face dropped, and my mum knew exactly who it was who did this, because she just saw my face going, you little shit. And I honest to God felt so bad for weeks. I felt really bad. My mom didn't send me to my room. She didn't, like, properly punish me. She just pretty much humiliated me. You know? And, you know, everyone found it funny apart from me, because I felt really bad. You know, after it. It's like, fuck, my mom's found out. She's given me a bollocking. And I really felt bad. It was like the difference, it was like, when I was getting the bollocking from the teacher, it was like, shut the fuck up. But with my mom, it was, holy shit, I am now in deep, deep shit trouble. And pretty much, I felt really bad. And that's what, and I had for weeks and weeks and weeks with people coming up to me, telling me facts about condoms. And I thought, fuck, my mum's told the world, and I felt really bad, and she's away having a laugh at it. And I understand now, you know, it was kind of a funny story, and pretty much, we did have fun doing it, but, you know, at the end of the day, there was no harm done. And I really think that's what we should do. If you're going to learn, if you want people to learn a lesson, humiliate them. So they won't do it again. Do something to them that will literally make them learn that lesson. You know, don't make them write lines. Don't throw them to the room with all their toys. Because that's what prison is. You know, you go into a room, you know, you're allowed your TVs, you're allowed your PlayStations, you know. The only thing you're not allowed to do is socialising in the outer world. You know, that is the only thing you're not allowed to do. You got a roommate to talk to, and then you have also 3 meals a day, or even 4 actually. I haven't really been to prison, so I don't really know what it's about, but I'm guessing from the documentary shows, you know, that kind of situation. But that's what we should go back to, because what they used to do in the olden days was used to get the guy who did the crime, put him into like a barricade thing with his head in his hands, and through like tomatoes and all that stuff. We should move back to that system, because that will make people learn a lesson going, fuck, I don't want to be in that situation again. You know, but people in prison going, oh yeah, you know, I've been to prison 8 times. You know, it's great. You know, I love it. You know, got good food. You know, I'm pretty much that kind of system, you know. And it just sucks, because our prisons are getting filled up. Just make sure they don't do the crimes again, you know, because the crime system is on his arse. And people are now, you know, this guy that killed Joe, the MP, you know, he's going to be in prison. He's going to, you know, he's not going to learn anything from it. You know, he was in court bragging about Free Britain. You know, bollocks to him. He should be hanged for what he did. You know, just like that guy that killed his daughter. You know, it's like he had a violent rage on him. You know, but no, you're just send the daughter back to hell. You know, it's like you are. You know, it's ridiculous of what he did. And people should bring back hanging. I'm not, or at least bring the legal injection into this. You know? Or even just humiliate them, you know, in front of crowds, you know, as entertainment. Much better than fucking reality shows, I've got to say. But that's my logic in crime. Obviously, hashtag GTV, hashtag Team Gavin. You can send your comments in, you can share the video. You know, you can have a wee laugh at my wee crime that I did back in the old days in school. But technically all I'm here to do is entertain people and maybe educate people, you know, that kind of system. But mostly entertain. So, pretty much hope folks have a good day, and I'll speak to you guys soon. See you later.